Aloha! This is lesson 193 from A Course in Miracles with Hope Johnson. All things are lessons God would have me learn. God does not know of learning, yet His will extends to what He does not understand. In that He wills the happiness His Son inherited of Him be undisturbed, eternal, and forever gaining scope, eternally expanding in the joy of full creation, and eternally open and wholly limitless in Him. That is His will, and thus His will provides the means to guarantee that it is done. God sees no contradictions, yet His Son believes He sees them. Thus, He has a need for one who can correct his erring sight and give him vision that will lead him back to where perception ceases. God does not perceive it all, yet it is He who gives the means by which perception is made true and beautiful enough to let the light of heaven shine upon it. It is He who answers what His Son would contradict and keeps His sinlessness forever safe. These are the lessons God would have you learn. His will reflects them all, and they reflect His loving kindness to the Son He loves. Each lesson has a central thought, the same in all of them. The form alone is changed, with different circumstances and events, with different characters and different themes, apparent but not real. They are the same in fundamental content. It is this: forgive, and you will see this differently. Certain it is that all distress does not appear to be but unforgiveness. Yet that is the content underneath the form. It is this sameness which makes learning sure, because the lesson is so simple that it cannot be rejected in the end. No one can hide forever from a truth so very obvious that it appears in countless forms, and yet is recognized as easily in all of them. If one but wants to see the simple lesson there, forgive, and you will see this differently. That's the simple lesson. These are the words the Holy Spirit speaks in all your tribulations, all your pain, all suffering, regardless of its form. These are the words with which temptation ends, and guilt, abandoned, is revered no more. These are the words which will end the dream of sin and rid the mind of fear. These are the words by which salvation comes to all the world. Shall we not learn to say these words when we are tempted to believe that pain is real and death becomes our choice instead of life? Shall we not learn to say these words when we have understood their power to release all minds from bondage? These are words which give you power over all events that seem to have been given power over you. You see them rightly when you hold these words in full awareness. And do not forget these words apply to everything you see or any brother looks upon amiss. How can you tell when you are seeing wrong or someone else is failing to perceive the lesson he should learn? Does pain seem real in the perception? If it does, be sure the lesson is not learned. And there remains an unforgiveness hiding in the mind that sees the pain through eyes the mind directs. God would not have you suffer thus. He would help you forgive yourself. His Son does not remember who He is, and God would have him not forget His love and all the gifts His love brings with it. Would you now renounce your own salvation? Would you fail to learn the simple lessons Heaven's teacher sets before you, that all pain may disappear and God may be remembered by His Son? All things are lessons God would have you learn. He would not leave an unforgiving thought without correction, nor one thorn or nail to hurt His holy Son in any way. He would ensure His holy rest remain untroubled and serene, without a care, in an eternal home which cares for Him. And He would have all tears be wiped away, with none remaining yet unshed, and none but waiting their appointed time to fall. For God has willed that laughter should replace each one, and that his son be free again. We will attempt today to overcome 1,000 seeming obstacles to peace in just one day. Let mercy come to you more quickly. Do not try to hold it off another day, another minute, or another instant. Time was made for us. Use it today for what its purpose is. Morning and night. Devote what time you can to serve its proper aim. And do not let the time be less than meets your deepest need. Give all you can, and give a little more. For now we would arise in haste and go unto our Father's house. We have been gone too long, and we would linger here no more. And as we practice, let us think about all things we saved to settle by ourselves, and kept apart from healing. Let us give them all to him who knows the way to look upon them, so that they will disappear. Truth is his message. Truth his teaching is. His are the lessons God would have us learn. Each hour, spend a little time today, and in the days to come, in practicing the lesson in forgiveness in the form established for the day, and try to give it application to the happenings the hour brought, so that the next one is free of the one before. The chains of time are easily unloosened in this way. Let no one hour cast its shadow on the one that follows, and when that one goes, let everything that happened in its course go with it. Trust you will remain unbound in peace eternal in the world of time. This is the lesson God would have you learn. There is a way to look on everything that lets it be to you another step to him, and to salvation of the world. To all that speaks of terror, answer thus, I will forgive, and this will disappear. To every apprehension, every care, and every form of suffering, repeat these self-same words, and then you hold the key that opens heaven's gate and brings the love of God, the Father, down to earth at last, to raise it up to heaven. God will take this final step himself. Do not deny the little steps he asks you take to him. So, yay. All things are lessons God would have me learn. So not leaving anything out. You know, if you took a course in miracles, you said, I'm taking a course in miracles, and you took a course in miracles, or you just said, I'm going to listen to this lesson today, okay? You've already made the decision that you want to use this world for waking up, right? You want to use this life for waking up. So now, to know all things, whatever occurs, all things are a lesson God would have me learn. And what is that lesson? What is that lesson? What is it always? Forgiveness. Forgiveness says this is not here. So what Jesus is saying is, determine, would you keep this thing that you think you don't like? Right? Then if not, then be aware that it is going to pass away because it's not there. Just your awareness, because this is a belief. Look, heaven, it only exists because of our belief. Okay? So this is an expression, what we're perceiving right here is an expression of denying heaven. Right? It's like heaven is always true. It's always sure because it's the thought of God, but our belief in it makes it true for us. It's not like heaven isn't true, but it isn't true for us if we're not believing in it. If we believed in something else, we believed in not heaven. So it's not just a negative thought, it's also a positive thought because it created this whole fucking thing. Or made it up because it's not really here. It's just projecting, right? So knowing that all things are lessons God would have me learn, you're going to be able to see through everything and remain in peace, just like it's talking about in here, right? You may be forgetful. If you're just starting out, of course, you will be. That's the case. So certain things will frighten you. You know, certain things like people will hold. I'll see people hold an idea that babies are being bombed. That was one of the recent ones. Babies are being bombed. Where are the babies being bombed, though? They can't be being bombed anywhere but in your perception. As soon as you stop thinking about babies being bombed, they're gone. It's all perception. So then the question, well, how do the babies get saved? Well, the babies The babies are having an experience, whoever's having that experience. The miracle that you perform anywhere, because there's no space, it inspires action. So any act of love is a miracle. Okay, it's coming from a miracle. It's a miracle-induced action. So any saving of any babies anywhere is inspired by a miracle. So that's why it's so helpful. Now, people tend to identify with this autonomous being as if they decide what it does. That's not how it works. So see how this applies? If you don't identify as an autonomous being, you can see that any kind of guilt, people get so guilty. They think they didn't act right and get this such a guilty feeling. Turn that into all things are lessons God would have me learn. This is also a lesson God would have me learn. The easiest way to learn is to be a happy learner, because this is a lesson that God would have me learn and not a reality, right? Like this, oh, I wish I didn't act that way. See, when you don't see and notice that it's a lesson God would have you learn, God absolves your guilt, and not know that, you're destined to repeat it. You're guaranteed to repeat the pattern because you're pissed at yourself. Isn't that great? You see how hard this is for people? Like, let's say they want to quit smoking, let's say, right? And they think they want to quit, but they don't know what they want, right? They just decided that the smoking wasn't a lesson that God would have them learn. It was an ego lesson into something to quit, right? All things being a lesson God would have you learn, there's nothing to manage about your life. It's totally carefree. You know, the personality, this is not your personality. It's just given to you for dreaming. It's made up for dreaming. This is not your personality. You do not give one flying fuck whether this thing sits in a gutter and does heroin the whole life. You don't care, because it doesn't mean anything to you. But from the perspective as an ego, you think you want to manage this thing. It's orchestrated the whole time. So see how much relief this brings. This too is a lesson God would have me learn. What would God have you learn? This shit isn't here. It's not like something you got to change about yourself. It's actually not here. And you can relax right now. And even the orchestration of the scene will go much easier this way. So 5 minutes up to, and you know, it's asking you to give all you can today. Give all you can to this. This is huge. You know, this is really a huge one, recognizing that everything is a lesson God would have you learn. But, you know, understanding what is the lesson God would have you learn, it's to be released from all this worldly stuff and know your perfect happiness. Most people don't know that either, because the churches teach them, what is the lesson God would have me learn? That I need to count some rosary beads or some shit like that. So 5 minutes to, as long as, you know, give as much as you can toward this, but you don't want to get to the point where, you know, you're just kind of like feeling stressed and you're not feeling productive in the meditation. But basically you're holding this in your mind. All things are lessons God would have me learn, and notice which thoughts cross. Keep bringing them to that thought and enjoy the silence in between. Also, it's talking about every hour, remembering this thought every hour, and to reflect on what occurred during the hour that you didn't see as a lesson God would have you learn. And bring it to that, you know, in that minute, just like a minute every hour, and bring it to that so that you see again. So each hour you're fresh again, and you're looking again with fresh eyes, and you're looking to see where you can reinterpret things that you've interpreted wrongly before. Now you're going to interpret them with this sight. All things are lessons. Even this is a lesson God would have me learn about my perfect happiness, sinlessness, and my place in heaven. So, hooray! Yay! Have a beautiful practice. A hooey-ho!